My name is Martin Shen. I am the President and CEO of FingerMotion. And the agenda today will be fairly simple. We'll just kind of go through the core businesses of our company, and then we'll go through some of the milestones, things that, how we came from a humble beginning to where we are now. And then we'll look forward to the future, some of our future strategic plans for the next 12 and 24 months. First, we thought we'd start with a short little video that kind of tells our company from a 30,000-foot bird's eye view. And then after the video is done, we'll go into a bit more detail about these core businesses. Okay.
We are an evolving technology company with core competencies in providing mobile payment and recharge platform solutions. Our vision is to rapidly grow our user base and have this growth develop into an ecosystem of users with high engagement rates, utilizing its innovative applications. We offer telecommunications services. Our Pigeonhole's integrated system can seamlessly manage mobile recharge, data, subscription plans, and more. We accurately and efficiently manage online products and services of major telcos through our system, may it be B2B or B2C. Our SMS integrated platform offers SMS and MMS payment solutions, bridging clients to their user base partnerships with major telcos. Our Sapientus platform utilizes data to power solutions for multiple industries not limited to finances and insurance by leveraging all the data that is collected into a predictive model that is able to isolate and extract consumer behavior and habits for future monetization. FingerMotion continues to aggressively invest in research and development. Our primary area of focus is the development of must-have application for consumers and businesses. Join us today.
So hopefully from that video you can see that we're well entrenched in the mobile phone arena, and in particular the mobile data space. Through our telecommunication products and services, through our SMS, but primarily through our big data and what we can do there, we hope to fulfill our vision, which really is to improve people's lifestyle by understanding human behavior. We're going to innovate to come up with new lifestyle products. We're going to enhance the products that are already out there. And hopefully through the insights, we can build something that will improve the lifestyle overall in general. So what are our core businesses? What do we do? First, we have telecommunications products and services, the top-up business. So what is top-up? So as a phone consumer in China, you have a phone, you use it, you use up the minutes. You use the phone, you use up the data. When you top up, all you're really doing is topping up your account. In essence, you are paying your phone bill. And how do you do that? You typically go through an e-commerce website. So I equate it to going to Amazon to pay your Verizon bill. There would be a Verizon portal there for you to pay the bill. And that's what we do. At FingerMotion, we are the intermediary company that connects that e-commerce portal to the telco. And you got to imagine, we are working and have a license for both China Mobile and China Unicom. And now we also have China Telecom as well. So we're looking at a user base of about 1.5 to 1.6 billion accounts. That's a lot of processing for us to do. Now the telcos have shown, given our work with Pigeonhole's integration, which is our platform, that they're very happy with our work. The platform has proven to be very robust. And the telcos are always happy because they're getting paid. But more importantly, their consumers are happy because their accounts are updated very quickly, spontaneously, with very few drop-offs and very few failures. Because of the success of that platform, they introduced another business to us, which is the SMS business. What is SMS? SMS is short message service, otherwise known as text messaging. And what the telcos have is they have discounted text messaging bundles. So somewhere in the neighborhood of, let's say, 100,000 or 200,000 text messages. And the thing in China right now is that text messaging is still used as a prevalent source to market to their user base. They send out text messages. So these discounted bundles that they have, they give to us, and we almost act as a wholesaler for them. And we take those discounted bundles of 100,000, 200,000 messages, and we pass that along to our corporate partners. At the same time, though, we also have a governmental review process in the back end. Because as you can imagine in China, you can't just send out spam or any propaganda or any sort of anti-governmental message. So we have a governmental review process on the back end to quickly approve their message. So our corporate partners not only get the benefit of having that discounted pricing for their SMS, but also this quick review process to make sure that their messages are sent out very efficiently. So those two businesses right now make up the bulk of our revenue, which in this last quarter was just shy of $6 million. So when we project that out, for our fiscal year end, which we'll probably report by the end of May, will be just around $22 to $23 million. So we're happy about how far those two business lines have come for us in a short period of time. Quarterly would be our annual. So because of the success of the first two in that mobile data and mobile phone space, we thought we'd try something new, which is RCS, or Rich Communication Services. What is RCS? RCS, it actually has been around in North America a little bit. It's multimedia messaging service. It's a bigger file, and you're trying to send that out through the text messaging channels. And so what we do with RCS is, you have to understand, RCS is based on the 5G infrastructure. As many people know, China is probably a world leader in building out that 5G infrastructure. And what 5G allows you to do is it allows you to have more complex transactions, given that increased bandwidth. So one of the examples we like to use is the Nike shoe example. Nike has a promotion on a shoe. And so what they would do is they would send out an SMS to their phone user base. And you get that SMS and you say, okay, I want to take advantage of it. I want to, buy the shoe. So you would typically hop off onto the Nike website and buy the shoe. Or you hop off on the Nike app and buy the shoe. What our RCS platform would allow you to do is you would get that SMS message, but then you might even get a follow-up marketing blitz or a big video campaign or something, which would really entice you to buy that shoe. Then that platform, if you really wanted to buy that shoe, you would just press a button and the transaction would be completed right then and there on the platform. That benefits two people. It benefits the company that's promoting, because that transaction happens right away and you don't have to jump off. But it really benefits the telco, because you don't jump off on the telco system to go to a website, and you don't jump off on an app. You stay on their system. And that's what we're trying to build with our RCS platform. So finally, with the success of the top-up, the reliability of our systems, the efficiency with which we get the SMS out, and the build-out of the RCS, we were awarded the license to go into the telco facilities and study their data, their user data. As I mentioned, that's about 1.5, 1.6 billion user accounts that we potentially can look at. A couple things we mentioned off the top really quick. Firstly, that data that we look at is not ours. The ownership of that data is retained by the telco. We just have a license to go in and study that data. And the second thing is, there's so much information out there that the telco couldn't possibly save it all. So they save bits at a time, the bits that we tend to work with. But the information that we get has already been scrubbed for anonymity. So there is no personal information. What we do have, though, is about 1,000 to 2,000 different demographic data points that we procure. And it's these demographic data blocks that builds up our big data insights and what we have built up in Sapientus. Yes. The license in China typically is renewable year over year. So it's not something they never sign, like these big 5-10 year contracts, but they're renewable every year. And again, once you get entrenched well enough, it just kind of happens automatically. So one of the examples I like to talk about when we talk about demographics is, for example, I'm a 50-year-old man and I drive to and from work Monday to Friday, 5 miles a day. Safe roads, it's always, 9 a.m., 5 p.m. It's always residential roads, so it's very safe. As opposed to demographically, the same 50-year-old man who drives 100 miles a day. highways, alleys, all around the city, everywhere, at all different hours. Now, do you think that dichotomy of information would be valuable to somebody or some company? We think so. But one of the things that we've always talked about as a data company is that having access to all this information isn't worth anything if you don't know what to do with it. And so we have to build out that information. And so we said, okay, let's look at things like healthcare. Can we work in that field? Or could we work in financial services? And we ultimately landed on InsurTech in the insurance space. I go back to that driving example. Two different people of the same demographic. Do you think that the auto division of an insurance company might like that information? I think it'd be helpful to them because really what do they want? They want to build a low cost or no claim portfolios. So before we get too far into it, I'll just go through some of our milestones. As you saw at the top, we were founded in 2016, but it wasn't until 2018 that we really got tied in with telcos. And then very rapidly, within 6 to 12 months, we already had about $70 million in gross transactional value for June 2019 alone. Remember, that's not revenue, that's the amount of dollars that's flowing through the system, either through our big top-up or our SMS. Similarly, we had about 150 million messages sent out in that month alone. So in 2018, like I mentioned, that's when we signed on with China Unicom. So we tendered and we won the license to be their payment processor for their top-up. But very quickly, we also became their big data partner because they saw the value in the information and the reliability of the platform. It's a value proposition that they could understand. Now, I mentioned that top-up process. It involves us being the intermediary that connects the e-commerce website to the telco. Obviously, we have a good relationship with the telco, but we also started building out our relationships with the e-commerce websites as well. So Pinduoduo is one of the largest e-commerce companies in China. And so all that relationship does by setting up that online store is that it brings their users into that portal. And so they could easily connect and do their top-up process through their own website. In 2019, that's when China Mobile and China Telecom also come on as well. And that's where we're starting to reach that 1.5, 1.6 billion user accounts. Now you got to remember that it's not like if we had the account for Verizon, you get the whole country. You get the account for China Mobile, China Unicom, you get them province by province. And so right now we're about 7 or 8 provinces in, there's about 20-some provinces in China, but we work all the time to continue to get those new provinces. And the reason it works is because our platform is so reliable. But again, with China Mobile, we also quickly became their big data partner. Again, understanding the value of the information that we could procure. Also, very importantly, we started our SMS and MMS business, which is that messaging bundle program that I was talking about. 2020 was a big year for us because we also signed up with Alibaba. Everybody knows Alibaba. And so when we started getting onto their website, obviously it brings a whole bunch of new users there. And then we also launched Sapientus, which is our big data insights company. Again, we knew the value of the information that our research and our data teams were able to procure. And so we thought it made sense to start a separate business line called Sapientus. Everybody here knows we started off OTC payments, the Wild West of the OTC. We moved our way up, and in 2020 we were able to reach OTC QX. And the one thing I'll note is that we signed on with Pacific Life Re at the end of 2020. Now, there's a very large reinsurance company, but at that point in time we were still an OTC company. So again, they really understood the value of the information that we could provide in InsurTech. And so they signed on an agreement with us. That insurance partnerships and collaborations continued in 2021 when we signed on with Happy Life, a large insurance company in China, and then Munich Re came on as well that year. And then finally, right before the year end in 2021, we got listed to the NASDAQ. I was obviously very proud of our team to get there. That took about 6 to 9 months to get through that regulatory process. But obviously it benefits the investors, knowing that they have more reliance, there's more governance. The rules and regulations obviously for NASDAQ, not only to get on, but to stay on just gives more comfort to investors and shareholders. So what are our future strategic plans? What do we have lined up? As I mentioned, with NASDAQ, you get more eyeballs on the company, more liquidity, and certainly access to more funding. And with that additional funding, we will look at obviously working and building our two-pillar businesses, the top-up and the FNS. The top-up is somewhat capital intensive because you do need a balance in that account to be that intermediary company between the e-commerce sites and the telco. Similarly, with the SMS bundling, you have to buy those bundles first before you get paid afterwards by our corporate partners. But ultimately, what we would want to do is build out some new division expansions that we're looking at. One, in the short term, would be new device protection plan. And I'll talk about that one in a minute. In the midterm, we will continue to build out our RCS. And in the long term, we'll look at a big data and obviously continue to do the R&D for our big data insights. So in the short term, mobile protection plan. What is that? That is AppleCare. AppleCare we understand is a aftermarket product here. But what we're trying to do, and we have China Mobile and China Unicom setting it up already, is they would build the device protection plan into the new phone plans themselves. Now, a lot of the population in China is changing from 3G and 4G to 5G phones. And so we expect that there's going to be a lot of subscribers coming on. And when those new phones come in, that protection plan is already built in to one of the suite of the products. The number that they gave down here about launching 1 million subscribers is telco's number. It's not our number. They're saying that every month, once this is launched, it's going to have 1 million subscribers, and then 1 million after that, and 1 million after that. So that revenue stream for us as a partner in setting this all up, it's just potentially could be quite significant for us. So we're looking forward to that. And we were able to partner up with one, if not the top, one of the top 3 device protection underwriters in the world. And that press release hopefully will be released soon, and you guys can figure out who that might be. In the midterm, we'll continue to build out the RCS platform. That RCS platform that we're building is white label. It's like a template. And the idea is that if you have a company, you want to get an RCS platform, you bring your IT team in, you bring your design team in, and you do whatever you want to that platform, and then you shoot it out to your users. Right? The benefit is that with our connection to the telcos, you know that that platform is going to work. It's going to work very well. It's going to work seamlessly with the telco so that those transactions for that company will happen without any issues. And obviously, in our long term, we look to build out Sapientus and our big data insights. And continuing to build the relationships with Pacific Life Re and Munich Re. We've already gone through the beta phase with them. So they already know. Our data scientists have already told them, these are the data points that we have. This is what we can build in. But what we did was we set up research labs that work with Munich Re and Pacific Life Re so that their team can tell us what they think they need. And so we work together, and it just makes more sense. It works more efficiently. And one of the things that we talk about in terms of our company looking forward is that right now, yes, we're focused in on health and life insurance. But everything that we do, all these platforms that we look at, can move into other industries. So I talked about healthcare and financial services, maybe even microlending. The idea of maybe giving a risk rating for someone that wants to borrow money ahead of time, or augmenting the information that a bank or lender might already have, that's something we're looking at as well. So with all that data that we can procure, we can certainly move outside of just insurtech and into other industries. At the same time, we can also move to other jurisdictions. So right now we are in China, and we built our foundation in China, and we're getting a good foothold there. But the experience of China will allow us to expand. The platforms are exportable to other jurisdictions, perhaps in Southeast Asia, but certainly out west, maybe Europe, maybe North America down the road. So really quickly, some financial highlights. As I mentioned off the top, we've grown quite rapidly, but quite comfortably. And as I mentioned this year, we're going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 22 to 23 million by year end. And similarly with our gross profit, that's going to grow as well. particularly with the device protection plan that's coming on board. We think that that could be a significant, not only revenue boom, but certainly a gross profit boom, because there's very little overhead cost for that on our end. Any questions at all? I know that we're short on time. I saw the timesheet come up. But what we obviously will have is that we have, I think we have 1 or 2 slots on the one-on-ones tomorrow still. And then our team is here. So if you guys run into us somewhere in the next couple of days, yeah, go ahead. Which one, sorry? Yes. Yes, yeah. Now, that's a very good question. It doesn't always look so nice when you're partnering with, let's say, like China Unicom, China Telecom, say, oh, can you lend us some money to do that as well? What we try to do as a solid company is to do that funding on our own. There's a bit of I guess, a face aspect to it. And we don't want to lose face as a Chinese company particularly. So you want to work independently with that. But it's a good question. Debt funding, equity funding, both. Yeah. Yeah, so like I said, if you guys run into us, please come up, introduce stuff, any questions. We do have a couple one-on-ones left over. So, but thank you very much. Appreciate all of you attending and enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you.